Welcome to another episode of Agents of Travel. I am your co-host, Garrett Palm, a.k.a. Secret Agent Sticky Toffee Pudding.
And I am your other co-host, Rachel Vanis, a.k.a. Secret Agent Panakukin.
And this week we have a guest, a friend of ours from the UCB comedy community, and also another Frisbee person. I think we've talked about
we had Eli.
We had Eli Gonzalez on. And although Adrian doesn't play Frisbee that much, but she shows up. She does show up. She does come play. I'm calling you out, Adrian.
Since you've already said her name, our guest is Adrian Snow.
Adrian Snow is a writer on Mod Night at UCB. If you are in LA, come on out to UCB Theater on Franklin. Her team is Baguette. It's the fourth Wednesdays of the month.
You can go check him out. Adrian's also a very successful commercial actress. You can see her in a lot of commercials.
Yeah. Another in our long line of people that you see in every commercial.
Yeah, I think she's actually been recognized for commercials she's been in. So she's maybe a tier above Eli even.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, another thing that connects Adrian and Eli and Rachel's, they all also work at the same restaurant. Mm-hmm. So does Eli ever get jealous of if Adrian gets recognized for being in a commercial?
Oh, almost certainly.
I'm sure, yeah, because Adrian is a great commercial actor. So one thing with this upcoming episode is we are watching a friend's dog.
And he's big.
He's big. And him and Danny slept all day. But as soon as our guest showed up, as soon as Adrian showed up, they wanted to put on a podcast of their own. Yeah, they wanted to have. So there's a separate podcast being recorded in the background, and that's dogs chewing toys that they ignored all day and walking around and getting into garbage and who knows what else. So just a heads up, if there's it's just dogs in the background. That's all.
All right, and with that disclaimer, let's take it away. What's your favorite Halloween costume you wore as a kid? Like, what was your best costume?
Oh boy, my best costume. I mean, I was a few cats. So I was a cat. I was Catwoman.
Okay.
But my pants ripped as Catwoman by the end.
Were they like tight?
No, I wish. It was like little you get it from the grocery store costume.
Yeah.
During the year Batman Returns came out. And then we had a costume contest in kindergarten, and this little 5-year-old came in with like an exact replica of the Batman Returns Catwoman costume. And I remember thinking, this feels inappropriate. like as a 5-year-old, just being like, I have like a lot of envy for that, but also like,
should I put the food up for this?
I know.
Sorry. No.
Sorry. No, we're watching our friend's dog, and he hasn't eaten all day.
Oh, and now he decides to eat.
And now he decides to eat.
Maybe I'll put it outside.
Yeah. We'll put it outside.
Too cute.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, you're talking about a Catwoman costume and cat costumes. And the dog we're watching is trying to steal focus.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Dogs, they can't stand cats.
So even as a 5-year-old, you're like, slut. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I do remember the sense that the fathers there were acting weird. I remember that. And kind of like, because it was like a skin tight costume, and she had like bright red lipstick on, and I was like, now that I see it on somebody else, I'm happy I didn't get like a perfect copy.
Yeah, you're like, maybe it's good this one's a little baggy.
Yeah, maybe it's good that I look kind of, like frumpy, and I have like a Michelle Pfeiffer face mask on me. And,
hell yeah. Wait, like an actual like her face on your face?
Just like one like with like the plastic or the rubber band behind you.
The Catwoman mask?
Yeah, the Catwoman mask with her mouth and everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like,
wow.
Very weird. I'm a little black girl and I have like this giant white face.
You know what? I had a similar experience, but so much worse. I was obsessed with Mulan, but I would not. I would not I refused to wear the Disney store version of the costume because it had a little badge with Mulan on it. And I was like, no, it has to look authentic. So then my aunt was like, I've got you. I'll go to Chinatown in San Francisco and I will find you like a Mulan outfit. And she came back with like, honestly, like more of like a Chinese dress than a Mulan style. Like, a tighter
like
fitted.
Yeah.
And then, my mom gave me geisha makeup.
No!
And I did not look like Mulan at all. And that is not a costume that will stand the test of time at all. But basically, it's like you dressed your, like, this first grader up as, like, a geisha, essentially.
Yeah. Parents are trying. I mean, and I think they do it because we are blind to it, right?
Oh, and I wasn't helping her at all. I was making it impossible.
Well, yeah, I would have dressed you up as like Mulan as the guy versus Mulan as like
honestly
opening.
It's so funny because the tomboy version is probably what I resonated with the most.
Yeah.
But part of me like really wanted the pink dress.
Oh,
the sleeves look so sick.
I don't think I've ever seen Mulan.
Adrian?
I was like 11 or 12, I think, and so I was like, I'm too old for Disney. I was getting to
You're
that
never
point.
too old for Mulan.
I know. I got to go back.
While we're on the topic of earth-shattering revelations, we have to admit something to you as well.
Oh, okay. Well, what's up?
We've been lying to you.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Lying through omission.
Okay. Oh, that's awful. Go ahead, continue.
Well, so you know us as Rachel and Garrett.
Yeah.
We're around in the comedy community. We play Ultimate Frisbee together. Yeah. But we have alter egos, secret identities. We work for the National Travel and Tourism Office.
Ntato.
Ntato.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real
secret organization.
It's a real organization
in
the U.S. government.
Okay.
The two T's may be switched. I'm not sure. But we are
unpaid interns, and we are competing for a promotion. So,
yes. And as unpaid interns, we're secret travel agents. Secret because
they don't
want to.
They won't claim us.
They won't claim us.
Okay. Well,
so if you asked Ntato about us, they would say we have no idea who you're talking about.
That's crazy. I've never known anyone who works for the government. Actually, my cousin I discovered works for the FBI. But have you met him?
Whoa.
Maybe you've seen him around.
That would be cool if the FBI ever acknowledged the travel side of the government.
Yeah.
If they ever acknowledged Ntato, that'd be really cool. Like, I've tried to hang out in those kind of like, like agent bars, but they're like, you're a secret travel agent. You're a travel agent. You're not like an FBI agent.
There's not like a company picnic. I feel like government doesn't do that.
Well, there is, but we're just not usually invited. No, like we help cater it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of like volunteer, and we like bring all the food, and we like pay for it ourselves. But
yeah.
That sounds like really rude. I feel like FBI and like CIA and NSA, I feel like they have enough money to cater it.
Well, they say it goes towards like protecting the country, so we're trying to do our part. Long story short, you may know me as Rachel, but I am Secret Agent Pannenkoeken, which is Dutch for pancake.
Oh, okay.
And I am Secret Agent Sticky Toffee Pudding, which just so happens to be my favorite dessert.
Oh, wow.
It's a British dessert.
Everyone has like food themed names.
Yeah,
names.
it's British for yum yum.
Yeah. Yum yum.
Yum yum. Mm-hmm. All right.
Cool. So we are competing for a promotion or maybe even just to get hired part-time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will be lightly interrogating you about your travel stories. And at the end, we will both pitch you a trip and you will pick which one is your dream trip.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Well, yeah.
Do you consent to an interrogation?
You got me here now. I feel like I can't just leave government agents. So sure, yeah.
Please stay. We're going bankrupt. We're funding these picnics.
I know. These picnics are expensive. They're an open bar.
Why would you do that?
They said we don't need it. And we were like, no.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
And they said, we don't really want this. We're, like agents. Like we need to be ready at any time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell that to my cousin. All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Cool. Adrian, question number 1. What was the first trip that turned you on to travel?
The first trip that turned me on to travel, I went to Niagara Falls with my dad and the woman he was dating and my brother and that woman's daughter when I was like 7 or 8. It was the first time I ever saw like international like coins and bills and stuff.
A loonie?
Yeah. Is that what they have in Canada?
Wait, I have a stupid question. Wow, thanks.
Oh my God, the dogs. Damn.
He's like looking for food still.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Yeah.
All good.
This is why we can't make it at Ntato, to be honest.
You know, pets are pets, man. My kitten, I just got a new kitten, and he is a monster. He's broken cups. He's almost broken lights. So I get it.
Danny is actually a regular guest on this podcast. Okay. Because you're not the first.
He likes to make a little cameo.
Yeah, he does. He found a treat. We put him on treasure hunts, and he doesn't find them all, but sometimes then
we'll get it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the first time seeing foreign money.
Wait, I have a stupid question. Niagara Falls is in Canada, not...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in both.
Okay.
That's
why I was a little confused. Okay, cool.
Well, we went to the Canada side. We crossed in. This is like back in the day where you didn't need a passport to cross into Canada. Mm-hmm. And so like the side we were on was definitely Canadian. I recall the money. I recall like I had like a little snow globe I got. I forget what was in the snow globe. Was it probably Niagara Falls? And then
snowman.
Yeah. And then
Space Needle.
Yes. And then we like took the boat where you go like into like to see the fall up close a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Were you like impressed by it? Because I feel like as a kid, if it was like a natural wonder, I would be like, this is boring.
No, I was really impressed by it. You know, I come from Texas, and so there's not like big waterfalls like that. The water I'm used to seeing like that was natural was like the beach, and it was like brown and kind of smelled gross. Even though you swam in it, but I'm amazed I'm not like I don't have a third eye. But it was really cool to see, and it my parents went there for their honeymoon. And so I'd heard about it, seen pictures of it. So it was nice to see it like in real life.
Yeah. So your dad was like,
I know.
Let me take
this woman that I've been seeing for a while. I wanted to go. I think that was like the big thing is that we were up there. We were in Detroit for a family reunion. And so we crossed over because I wanted to go.
Okay. You weren't trying to like parent trap your parents back together?
No. My parents know I feel that they made the best choice. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So it sounds like this foreign money, the Canadian money really impressed upon you.
It did.
What was it about it? Just seeing bills with like different faces on it?
Yes. I remember I didn't have a snow globe. I had it was like a globe of the Canadian penny. And I think it was like a little paperweight. I think I still have it somewhere in my mom's house. But I was really just like kind of like in awe of this maple leaf on this penny. I don't know why.
That's so cute.
On their money?
I also feel like when I get any currency from a foreign country, it like feels like Monopoly money or something to me. Like it feels a little more whimsical than anything else.
I still have some. I was in Scotland in March, and I still have some pounds in my wallet. And every now and then, someone will ask me for like a quarter, and I'm like, "Oh crap, you want a pound? I'm sorry." And I don't. I should take them out and put them away in my little like foreign money like jar. But
do you have a foreign money jar?
I have like a little bag of like Danish krona. A few pounds. Yeah.
That's sick.
I've got a little sack of foreign money too. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to like look through from time to time.
And I always forget it when it's time to go out of the country.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know. I've got a bunch of pounds I've probably got like 80 pounds that I'm like sitting on that every time I go I forget about.
I went to Paris when they had francs, and I regret that I turned in all my francs when I came back because now they're gone.
I know. I think I might have some francs and some lira, Italian lira.
Yeah.
And some Greek. What was Greek? What was Greek? But yeah, pre-EU.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of fun. Because those are like gone.
Yeah, you can't find them anywhere anymore unless you like, I guess, buy them at specialty places.
Yeah.
And, like, why would I do that?
Yeah. But to have it just laying around, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Adrian.
Yep.
That was your first trip.
Okay.
We're skipping the worst trip. Tell us a story about your best trip.
My best trip is like bittersweet.
Ooh, okay.
I went to Paris with a boy.
Oh my gosh.
That I was dating before we went, and then we broke up before we went to Paris. So we were not together.
But you went together anyway?
We went together anyway because we were like, well, what happens in Paris? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, little 18-year-olds out there, 19-year-olds. But it was a great trip. It was just like my first time like out of the country, like proper, like I'm not in the continent anymore. And
and you're not with your parents.
I'm not with my parents. And
you're an adult.
I'm 18 and I can drink legally. And when I land in France, when we had the worst taste in alcohol, I think we had really nasty old wine.
Hell yeah.
That we bought. But it was, at the time, if you were under the age of 22, like half of it was free. So you could go to the Louvre for free.
Oh, yeah,
you could take the train for free.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
With the student ID.
With the student ID. They just kind of let you like do whatever you want. And so, and we had some money, but we were kind of, broke still. Like,
I mean, you were 18.
There. We were 18, Yeah. My dad, worked for a company that was partnered with Continental Airlines, now United. And so I could fly pretty much anywhere for like an extreme discount. So like I think it cost him maybe $50 for me to fly.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And so he agreed only if I went with somebody. And the only person I was like freshman year of college, and the only person I was really close to was this guy I've been dating.
I feel like that backfired on your dad immediately. He was like, she'll probably go with a friend, and then it's like a boy, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, my dad he's never too nosy. He kind of
he's pretty chill.
Yeah.
But it was great. We stayed at a really crappy hostel.
Great.
I had a cold
Classic.
for like the first 3-4 days.
Yeah.
So I couldn't smell anything in Paris. Horrible. So I couldn't taste anything really.
Oh yeah. That part, sometimes the smell in Paris.
Not so good.
Not
but
so
the
good.
food. The food.
But
the food.
But this is before, like, not to age myself, but this is before like smartphones. And so we're kind of winging it. There's no like, where do you recommend going or any of that kind of stuff outside of like what people have vaguely told us. And so a lot of the restaurants we chose were bad. They were really bad. But the last night we were there, we went to a bar across from the hostel and had the best meal of the whole trip, where it was like I had like duck l'orange for the first time. I forget what the guy had. And it was so good. I still think about that duck like to this day.
Really?
It's been like 20 years.
Have you been back to Paris since
I have
then?
not been back to Paris. I keep trying to get back and like I have to cancel or like something happens, and so
you need another ex.
I just you know what? I got someone lined up. I can maybe I can take him with me.
Is it like, because you mentioned like best trip, it sounds like there's like a lot of freedom involved, but like, because you were there with your ex, so like, do you even like sort of look back on that in a nostalgic way of like, I can't believe I did that, and that's kind of like, in a way, I'm fond of how bizarre that was or something? Or
I think for me, it's not that bizarre. I have a weird history with a lot of my exes where it's like we're still friendly, and I'll go get dinner with an ex and his wife, and so it's not too unusual. I think the more mature old me is more like, maybe not. Maybe, get separate rooms and, don't torture yourself like that. But
set boundaries at the beginning and stick to them.
But was 18. And it was fun.
And you've got to do it to know what you would do next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got to make out with a boy that I wanted to make out with.
In Paris.
Exactly. In Paris. A very romantic place to make out. Was there any, did you stay back together for a little bit when you got back?
No.
Nope. No. It was just like on the flight back, you were both kind of like, yep.
Yeah. That was a complicated...
Oh, yeah.
That's a complicated relationship that went on for quite some time. But yeah, we never got back together. Yeah. He did inquire about getting back together when we were in our mid-20s.
Formal inquiry.
Late 20s, yeah.
And he said, let's go to Paris again, LOL. And you were respectfully denied.
And I was like, you're a horrible boyfriend. We're never getting back together.
I did Paris with a then girlfriend, and we both knew we were breaking up 2 weeks after Paris. It was kind of like I was about to take a big year-long trip, and we knew when I left it was going to be the end of the relationship.
Okay.
And we went to Paris together 2 weeks before that, and it was great.
Yeah. It must have felt very raw, very charged.
It was. It was very raw, very charged. Danny's coughing up in the corner.
Yeah.
See, it's not just you that he interrupts. It's me too. But yeah, it was. But it was Paris. It was the place that you did stuff like that, where you.
Yeah, it's the place of love and loss.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and of flings and complicated romantic emotions.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I've already talked about it several times, but then you have a long history with Paris because Garrett also made, when he and I were newly dating, us meet up with another one of his exes who happened to be in Paris.
What?
And then she was 5 hours late.
No.
And we waited the whole time in the rain.
Oh, that's kind of romantic. But
it's not romantic that we were waiting to meet up with Garrett's ex.
Let's
not
move
that part,
to
but the rain.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian, what's the tastiest thing you've eaten on a trip?
Duck l'orange.
That duck l'orange. And then
Can you guys walk me through what a duck l'orange is?
So it's essentially it's not a fried duck. It's when you fry the duck in its own fat. I forget what that's called. Duck. There's I forget what it's called. But you essentially do that. That's how you're supposed to cook duck. And then there's an orange sauce that's also cooked in, and reduced in. And so the duck's able to be really juicy and has an orange
kind
sauce.
Of crispy.
It's kind of crispy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's, that's orange duck, but tends to be a bit juicier. I think orange duck tends to be maybe a bit drier sometimes, but yeah, orange duck.
Cool. Yeah. Was that the tastiest thing?
That was one of the tastiest things. And then
what are some other
ones? I really like blood sausage. I'm blanking on the name what it's called in Scotland.
Oh, blood sausage.
No, haggis.
Haggis.
Yeah.
Yes, that's different.
Girly.
That's different from blood sausage.
It's blood sausage with oats. So, but it's still
stomach. But I don't think it's blood.
I think it's got blood in it, right? Or is it intestines?
It's intestines.
It's in intestines.
And blood, I think.
Blood sausage is congealed blood formed into a patty.
Well, what I've discovered is that there's a variety of different blood sausages. And when I was looking it up, because I wanted to have blood sausage when I got back from Scotland the first time.
To be fair, I've never had it. I'm vegetarian.
Oh, yeah. Well, as a Texan and vigorous meat eater, haggis tends to have a lot of crossover with blood sausage. Mm-hmm. So I had I've been to Scotland twice, and the last time I was there, I had I did afternoon tea, but not
where?
Oh, I don't remember.
We're big. Was this Edinburgh?
This is in Glasgow.
Glasgow?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was in Edinburgh,
we don't know
but then
Glasgow.
I went over to Glasgow. Okay. It was, I didn't do the big one where it's $50, 50 pounds, and you get a bunch of tea and little cucumber sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
But I just went in the afternoon, and they were you can have a side of tea with brunch. And so they had a haggis eggs Benedict.
Oh shit!
It was called Eggs. The big poet over there Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns.
Yeah, it's called like egg burns or something.
That's cute.
Yeah, because he was a big proponent of haggis.
Yeah, and it was delightful. I loved it. People are always so grossed out when I'm like, haggis.
Haggis really is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
My understanding of it, like when I talk to people there, they're just like, yeah, it's just meat. Yeah, it's cooked in a stomach.
Yeah. It's like cooked in a stomach. It's got a little bit of oat in it.
Yeah, it's
like,
mostly oat.
Yeah, when it's haggis, it's mostly because they have to get the patty.
Yeah, because I've had the vegetarian version, and they've been like, this is 60% the real version, because the real version is like 60% oats or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a survival food. It's
exactly.
It's supposed to be cheap.
Yeah.
But that was really good. Where else have I? Amsterdam. Was there good food in Amsterdam?
It's mostly French fries.
Yeah, it's mostly French fries.
Is it mostly Frenches? I don't recall eating a lot of food in Amsterdam, which is kind of funny. Are
you a big food-based traveler? Like, is that high on your list of priorities, or you're like, no, I'll just stop by wherever is close?
It's getting, I think, more to be like a thing I prioritize when I go on trips, but I'm more of a drinker. And so I will go places like knowing like I want to try this distillery, I want to go to this brewery. When I went to Portland years ago, like over 12 years ago, that's what I did. I like made a list of every brewery I want to see.
Okay, so are you more into beer or spirits, or you'll do
beer?
Both? Okay,
but I will do spirits.
What breweries did you go to? Wait, did we know each other then?
No, this is like when I was in my
I didn't give you my
mid-20s. Yeah. I went to, this was a long time ago.
Breakside, Freem, Fort George.
The big one that like
Whitmer?
It's become really popular. I think I did go to Whitmer. I went to Deschutes. I went to Whitmer because Whitmer had like the banana beer, and I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
I really love their beer cheese soup. Like every time my dad was in town, because I went to school up there, and once he locks in on the one restaurant, that's the restaurant we'll go to every single time he's in town.
My dad is that way with Figaro. Until like the pastries changed, and he was very upset.
Yeah, my dad. It was like, okay, Dad's in town. We're going to Whitmer, and I'm getting that beer cheese soup.
Yeah, that was good. The big one. Not Rogue. Is it Rogue?
Yeah.
Well, they're on the coast, but they are. Yeah, they did have one.
Yeah,
in Portland.
They used to have one in Portland.
Yeah.
I did that, and then I remember going to like a $2 movie night to go see Grown Ups.
Oh yeah.
Grown Ups of all movies.
Of all
That's
movies.
Great.
But it was so cheap, Yeah,
I know.
Like, running out of stuff to do.
That's awesome.
It's gotten more expensive there.
Yeah.
And everybody there complains about it.
Mm-hmm.
But every time we go back to visit from LA, it's still so cheap.
Yeah. I mean, especially compared to LA.
Exactly.
I also drove up I did like a vineyard tour, and I went and tried some wine, drove up to Seaside.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good trip.
Yeah, it was a great trip. I was by myself. I was just like vibing, making friends at my hostel.
You're a very good solo traveler though. Like you've got no qualms about it. You're here for it.
No, because it's like, well, if I have to choose, I think I realized I can wait for somebody to come and be waiting forever, or I can just go by myself, make some friends. Last time I was in Scotland, I went for like an improv festival, and I was like, on this trip, I would really love to go on a date. And I did.
How'd it go?
It went well. I went on a date with like a little Scotsman I met out there, and I called him the Scotsman, and everyone was like, oh my God, how was the Scotsman? It was a cute little, really wholesome date. I could have gone for it being a bit naughtier, but hey, respect. He didn't. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that.
That's very charming. Did you find him through an app?
Yeah.
Oh, if I reveal, no, I can't reveal.
Okay. That's fair.
I respect it.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay, Adrian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what tourist attraction lived up to the hype? Sounds like one of them already that we've heard from.
Which one?
Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I think about when I think about the thing that I've been looking forward to my whole life, it was the Eiffel Tower. And we kind of came upon it. Like we were walking, and the guy was giving me crap about making us lost because I was in charge of like the itinerary. Mm-hmm. And okay. So actually Eiffel Tower is second. But we happened to walk upon it, and like I turned my head, and we were standing right in front of it. It was really great for me, being like, "Oh my God, it's here!" But the best one was Versailles, because
the palace.
I've never
the
been.
palace, yeah.
Okay.
So we
gone.
packed a lunch, like a really good lunch, like best strawberry of my life, like a really good sub sandwich. It was like egg and like a little bit of ham and tomato. It was so good, and because I've been told there's like a really beautiful lake behind the castle, or at the castle, not behind it. Mm-hmm. So we get there, and it's just a massive castle, and the guy sarcastically turns to me and he goes, "Well, maybe the lake's behind it." And sure enough, we walk behind the castle, and it's just this massive lake, and like this really cute, like like some French artist sat by this like smaller lake on the side and like drew and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when we saw that lake and it was massive and people were rowing and people were like lounging everywhere, I looked at him and was like, "I told you. I told you.
I fucking told you."
It was great. We didn't go into the castle because it was like we weren't really there to like go and walk through it. We were really there for the lake and the picnic and that kind of stuff.
The
and it was
vibes,
great.
yeah.
It was like, French royalty did some crazy crap.
I think
on that very grass.
Yeah. Well, and I think whenever I feel like I'm somewhere that's been painted, like that's enough. Where I'm like, I feel like I'm in the painting now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just having this marvelous time.
It was great. It was like certainly there were so many highlights on that trip, but that in terms of like the big reveal of like the lake and the food, it was just a really great trip.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man. Yeah. And even the packed lunch, like when you have a packed lunch and it slaps, it's like incredible.
It was so good. It was just like this little deli we found like around the corner from the hostel. That and the duck. Those were like the best meals.
Hell meals. Yeah. Okay, so Adrian, what has been your biggest fish out of water moment?
Ooh, London.
Oh.
I found London to be overwhelming. It was very busy.
Yeah.
And the food was very bad. And I never quite felt comfortable. Like I was like, I stayed in my hotel a lot more than I normally would. Like I kind of came out, I went and saw like the bridge. I remember walking into a restaurant near St. Paul's Cathedral, and it was like a pub. And I was a little American black girl, and I walk in, and everyone stopped and looked at me, and I was like, bangers and mash. And then so,
quick, speak their language.
Bangers and mash. And it was just like a very uncomfortable. I found London to be very aggressive. I was very happy to leave the next day and go to Ireland. And in Ireland, everyone was like, "Oh yeah,
let's party."
The English suck, eh?
Was that kind of sad though? Because I know you love Doctor Who so much, and like, were you expecting to have this relationship with London that like didn't quite manifest? Or
No, and I've been to London again, and I again did not like it. And I was
Really?
It's just not your vibe.
It's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
I had a very awkward encounter with a homeless man who like walked into the restaurant, found me in the back of the restaurant, sat down, asked me for money. I said, "Sir, I'm so sorry. I don't have any money. Like, I'm just here for a night," because I was going to Edinburgh the next day. And he was like, "You don't want to give me money because I'm black." And I was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, looked down at myself. I looked at him and I was like, does he not realize I too am black? And I was like, get me out of here.
You're like, wait a minute. Did you only target me because I'm black?
Exactly.
Like,
and then I saw, Daniel Radcliffe do a play and I fell asleep because I was jet lagged. It was so sad. It was so mad.
No.
Were you enjoying it?
I was.
Other
It was
than,
like him and
being
Alan
jet-lagged?
Cumming, and I was just like,
Wow.
Oh my God.
I was just exhausted, and I just like clocked out.
Yeah.
But I think the whole Doctor Who aspect of it, like my favorite Doctor is David Tennant, and David Tennant is Scottish, and so I was like, as long as Scotland doesn't disappoint me, we're good. good. And Scotland has never. Well, there's one time, but for the most part, Scotland has not disappointed me.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I know. I feel very drawn to Edinburgh just from working at the Fringe and stuff.
Yeah.
It does have a magic all its own.
I know. It's my most visited place. I've probably been to Edinburgh like 9 or 10 times.
Wow. Yeah.
And like it never loses its magic.
No, I love every place I've been in Scotland. I've had a really great time. You know, Glasgow was great. And it's huge too. It's very like, it can be overwhelming, kind of like London, where it's just like, oh, everything is massive, and ancient. But I've never gotten that sense, and everyone's always been so nice and really just like welcoming for the most part. That one thrift store in Edinburgh, I will never forgive you.
Oh no, drag 'em.
Charity shop.
What was I gonna ask? Do you usually like big cities? Are you more like a mid-sized city? Like when you go travel, are you like, I want to go to the big city? Or are you like, countryside actually suits me better?
It depends. If I'm solo traveling, I will go to the big city.
Yeah.
It's just like a safety thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if I can take a trip to the countryside, I definitely will. Because I like, you know, if I could have my Outlander moment where I like go and stand on a hill and like overlook the sea, I would love that. You know?
It is so special.
But yeah, I prefer having a person with me when I do that.
Would you? Would you be up for a hike?
Yeah.
Like a multi-day hike?
Ooh, like camping and stuff?
I already know what you're doing.
You already know what,
what
I'm talking
about. It depends, I think. If it's it depends. Because sometimes when I'm on vacation, like one of the joys of vacation is the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so that's kind of a big part. But if it's like a bigger trip, like I really want to do like a big trip with my best friend and it's just about getting her to commit to like taking a month off. Which she probably will never do.
I know. That's the hard thing about regular Americans.
Yeah.
Like Americans with 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And like, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like if a company doesn't really allow for that, like the rest of the world, I've met people who are just like, I'm just, I'm taking a month off and then I'm back at work, back to my 9 to 5 in the Netherlands.
I heard about, I think it's like the Hilton. They offer a sabbatical.
Yeah.
And you can like pick, I think the rules for their sabbatical are like you have to spend it fulfilling a lifelong dream.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people, like one guy like hiked the El Camino with his dad and like it's very cute. Yeah. I wish
so
more places had something like that. But I think you have to work at a unique company.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to work for Nike and he got a sabbatical, but it didn't have any stipulations.
Oh, what you could do.
It wasn't like you have to fulfill something.
You have to run a marathon.
You have to run a marathon.
Do Ironman.
Ironman.
No, yeah, it's. I'm trying to plan it for our big 40th in a few years, and so like I can convince her to just commit. As long as I can convince her to not have babies in the next year and a half.
Good fucking luck. It's babies or bust, baby.
The 40th is a good excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Adrian. If you could step into any moment from your travels anytime you wished, which quintessential perfect moment would you pick?
I really liked the date. I would go back to that.
Oh, and then, in Scotland?
Yeah, I would go back to that.
Quintessential and perfect about it.
It was just so wholesome.
Yeah.
And I haven't been on. I don't date a lot out here. If anyone's looking, no, but I don't date a lot out here, and I haven't been on like a proper date in a while, where it's like we go to dinner and then we have drinks after, and then we, just talking and like joking and stuff. And so that's like probably one I would go back to, just because I like just had a really good experience like on a date.
What made it so wholesome?
Oh, I mean, the guy was really wholesome. Like, I think, okay, well, we had we met each other at the Improv Fest, and so
Cute.
And so we had spent some time together.
Okay, so it finally comes out how you met.
Yeah, we had spent some time together, and so that's kind of how he was going to be in Glasgow. He's from Glasgow, and I was like, well, when I'm out there, we should like meet up, and so we met up, and just like he. Honestly, this is so basic, and people are like, Adrian, that's so basic. I'm like, but that basic stuff is what hits. It's what slaps.
There's a reason Paris is the city of love.
Yes.
It's basic, but
yeah. He just was like, okay, so I've looked at a few restaurants. Which of these 3 do you want to go to? Mm-hmm. Like, and so we got that. And I was like, oh, I really like this bar. Let's go there. Like afterwards, but just like. The consideration, which is like, oh my God, I'm so LA traumatized of like somebody being like, I've picked a place for us to eat. Like, do you want this, or that? It was like so impressive. And people are like, what are you talking about? Like, listen, do you know how many times I had to be like, what would you like to eat? And the guy's like, I don't know, you pick. I'm like, please, God. Please pick a place. And they pick like Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, we could go anywhere.
Yeah, he showed he actually cared.
And it was like just like a really nice experience of just like getting to know someone. And he was a normal person. Like his life outside of it was just like he had a really normal job where he really just wanted to support and take care of people. And I was like, this is so refreshing.
I do often feel that way away from LA, where I'm like, oh my God, you do anything but the industry. Please tell me all about it. Like, it's so nice.
It was great. And, you know, like for him, like doing improv was just like
fun.
Just for fun.
Imagine.
Yeah. He wasn't trying to get an agent.
No.
He wasn't trying to get a writing job.
At the end of the date, he wasn't like, so could you send my stuff along to your manager?
He didn't do a bit the whole date. Like,
oh my God.
No bits.
But he was an improviser.
We would have jokes, but there was no running bits.
No running bits.
It was really great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Man, he did care.
He did care.
So, Adrian, is there a local custom you've observed while traveling that you've implemented or wished you've implemented into your daily life? So, for example, we sometimes do a German tradition which is Kaffee and Kuchen, which is just coffee and cake in the afternoon. Incredible.
Nice. I do like blood sausage, and
she always comes back.
I come back to blood sausage. I do tend to when I'm in the mood. There's like one place in Glendale that sells it, and I will go get it. But
wait, where is it?
It's like the international market, like off San Fernando.
Oh, so you've got to make it yourself.
Or Burbank.
So you couldn't go to like Wurstkusch or whatever. They wouldn't have blood sausage because they're German, not Scottish.
Yeah, a lot of places don't have blood sausage. I mean, it's blood sausage. There's an Armenian grocery store down the street from me. I discovered has blood sausage too. But depending on how I want to cook it, I would have to go to this German, or it's like a German international market. Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
So that's something I kind of pulled from Scotland. For a while there, Amsterdam, I was eating like charcuterie plates for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking about this.
Yeah.
I love Dutch breakfast is one of my favorites because it's just cheese and bread.
Yeah.
Rachel's Dutch, and so we go and visit her family over there sometimes, and like one of our favorite parts is just the platter of cheese coming out with the cheese. You scrape it and like it's a thin thing of cheese,
and all the bread is so light and fluffy, and then you also get the cookie butter.
Yeah, we tried to implement that for a little bit after our most recent Dutch excursion, and we did it for a bit. We had like a drawer full of cheese, and we would break out the scraper and break out some good bread and butter, and we never did the sprinkles. Did you do the sprinkles?
What are the sprinkles?
Oh,
it's iconic to do chocolate. They have chocolate sprinkles you put on buttered bread.
Oh, I did not do that. Wow,
And they also have some fruit sprinkles, but the chocolate are the iconic ones. Yeah. But we weren't ultimately able to keep it up because in the Netherlands, they just have access to cheap, good cheese.
Yeah.
And here we do not.
Yeah. It did get a bit pricey. If I do like something where like I'll do like my Sinespia where I give out I'll make like a charcuterie plate, and I'll have so much of that left over, and that becomes my breakfast.
Yeah.
For like a week.
You're like,
trying to get through all the cheese.
Whoops.
Did I buy too much meat and cheese and bread?
Do you supply your charcuterie boards from Trader Joe's?
No, I like to build them, and so I go to Super King, and
I love Super
their
King.
deli. Some of the stuff is hit or miss. Sometimes fruits and veggies aren't that great.
Yeah.
But their deli is always great.
Their cheeses.
Yeah.
They won't have like that aged Gouda or like stuff like that, but
they have a good smoked Gouda. Yeah.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. But they're like their feta selection is crazy.
Yeah, they have an amazing feta selection because it's like I don't know if it's just like Armenian, but it's like supposed to be like an international leaning towards like Greek,
more
Armenian.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Middle Eastern.
Yeah, I've found a lot of Lebanese stuff there. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah.
So I'll go there because it's like usually a pretty good deal, and they're patient with me as I build my own charcuterie.
Oh, that's
cute. Yeah. Do they make suggestions?
No.
Okay. They're just like, okay.
But they like by the time I get to like the third meat and like the fifth cheese, they're like, charcuterie? I'm like,
they start piecing it together. All right. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Beach or mountains?
Ooh, beach.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
City or country?
City.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Mm-hmm. History or modern?
Ooh, history.
Clubs or cafes?
Cafes.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Fancy or casual?
A bit of both.
Okay.
Fast or slow?
Slow.
Dogs or cats or cows or monkeys?
No. Cows. Don't tell my cats.
Whoa! Wow. I didn't expect that. I was about to highlight cats, but no such luck.
I know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know where I'm going with this, and cows kind of seals the deal.
Okay.
So annoying.
But so Adrian, we are going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We are going to tabulate all this data you've given us.
Okay.
And we are going to come up with your dream trip.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
And we're back. We have done our research. We have tabulated the data. Adrian?
Yes.
Are you ready to hear your 2 potential dream trips?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go first. And look, I'm going to send you someplace you've been.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you a different side of it. And I am falling into a common trap I fall into on this show. I'm going to pitch you a trip that I've largely done.
Okay.
So I'm sending you back to Scotland. You and that friend who is about to turn 40. This is going to be a 2-week trip.
Oh, okay.
2 or 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. It depends. There's some options for you, some variables for you to choose here. But the focus will be the Highlands.
Yeah.
So you'll start in Glasgow. How much of the Highlands have you seen?
None.
Yes. Okay. So you're going to start in Glasgow.
Yeah.
All your bags will be shipped, but you will be walking from Glasgow to Fort William along the West Highland Way.
Okay.
So this is a traditional trail that is, it's 100 miles. And you go from lodge to lodge.
Oh, okay.
So every night you stop. One of the lodges, King's House, is literally in the middle of nowhere. It's an ancient hunting lodge that one of the kings used.
Okay.
And now you could stay in it, and there's a great bar. With the whole way, every night you'll be drinking Scotch. Whiskey, as they call it there. You'll be drinking whiskey. You'll be drinking. Do you like the hand poured ales?
Yes.
Yeah.
Draft.
Yeah, the draft where it's a little warmer, a little less bubbly. You'll be drinking those. Okay. You'll be having haggis, shepherd's pie, because you'll be walking. you can do it. So it's 100 miles. Do you want to do it in 7 days or 10 days? What can I put you down for?
10 days.
10 days. Cool. And this really gets you out there. You are out in the Highlands, living that Outlander life. You go along Loch Lomond.
Okay.
You go along some historical battlegrounds with ruins. The whole way, people are saying. Also, if your friend isn't into this kind of hiking, you can go with whoever you want. Okay. The whole way, people are like, "Oh, you're doing the West Highland Way? Oh, I've done it. Oh, this is special." Oh, nice. It's a really big talking point for everybody on the trail. But yeah, you'll be staying in these old lodges along the way, and then you end in Fort William. From there, you'll be heading over to the Isle of Skye. Oh yeah. And along the way, I'm gonna have you stop at the Eilean Donan Castle. Okay. It's a castle in a bay. It's like a little island in the bay. It's just a perfect little castle, just with all the mountains around it. It's one of the most stunning castles in the world, and it's stunning in its simplicity and the beauty around it. That's a stop. And then the Isle of Skye, I'll have you tour the Isle of Skye, staying near, do you know Talisker? That's where the Talisker comes from, the Isle of Skye. I'll have you stay near the Talisker distillery, but you'll see such sites as as Store, the Old Man of Store. Just there's they call the Isle of Skye the Highlands in miniature, because it's an island with everything from the Highlands there. So there's just incredible rocks just sticking out of the earth in these crazy formations. There's a fairy glen where stones are arranged, and it feels like a kid's playground version of the Highlands, but it wasn't built. It's just these little mini hills that are maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 feet high. Yeah. You hike over them, and it's just like this magical feeling glen. Okay. And then there's the fairy pools, which are just these beautiful clear water pools of water with the stream and little waterfalls. It's Outlander in miniature. Like everywhere you go, you are in Outlander. And the Kirang, which especially on a foggy day, it's just these rocks you can go between, and it feels like you're going into another world, especially in the fog, which it usually will be in the mornings and the evenings. Maybe for a couple hours during the day, it's going to be clear. And then for the end of it, and every morning on the West Highland Way, what's the best food before hiking 10 miles?
I don't know.
A full Scottish breakfast with blood pudding.
I was like, haggis. I'd probably say haggis. Nice.
Eggs, tatty scones.
Oh yeah.
Blood sausage. The whole works. And then so finally, I'm sending you to the Isle of Mull, an island kind of on the outer edge of Scotland. It's a magical island. Are you familiar with Highland coos?
No. Highland coos.
Yeah, they're the Scottish cows.
They're the shaggy guys.
The shaggy red hair covering their eyes and the horns.
They have some of those up in oh my gosh, Sebastopol.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh cool. Well, are they on a beach? Because on the Isle of Mull, they hang out on a beach.
They do hang out near the ocean.
But do they go down to the water and walk through the water?
Give him this, Adrian.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So Highland coos going through the shallower parts of the ocean, and clear, like the water up there
like
is crystal clear. Yeah. It's like the Caribbean but cold. But those Highland coos are just kind of like sitting on the beach.
Okay.
That's and really cute. They're all over that island. They're all over the Highlands in general. But yeah, it's a beautiful spot.
Okay.
And that's my pitch to you.
Nice. Highland hike. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. But all your gear is transported to the next lodge.
Okay. So you're just walking.
You're just walking.
Backpack.
A small backpack with like water, a packed lunch.
Nice. Got a packed lunch all the way. All the way.
It's just it's just nonstop beautiful sights. You go through the moors. I don't know if you were ever a Harry Potter fan.
But do you see the train?
Yep.
Yeah.
When it goes through that
you
area.
see the train.
You see the train.
Yeah.
I'm always there at the wrong time to do the train. Like I'm always there like the off season. I'm like,
yeah.
Nice.
But you hike through the area that it
comes
like
through.
This beautiful, sparse, boggy kind of region.
Nice.
Okay. So for my trip, we're going to mix things up and send you into a different hemisphere.
Nice. Let's go.
The southern one.
Okay.
I am sending you to Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Wild. So crazy. In my research, I did not expect to send you here. Okay. You're going for 2 weeks. You're also bringing your friend.
Okay.
People speak Portuguese there. It is a global city, so you could probably get by with English. But on the first day, the cutest, softest boy, the softest boy, because in Brazil there's machismo culture, but then there's this soft boy who speaks Portuguese. You guys kind of meet, and he can pop in and out as your guys' guide as much as you see fit.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay. So for the first couple days, you'll explore Rio, and you're going to, you'll explore Rio, but you're going to be staying in a fucking nice hotel. You might stay at the Fasana Rio de Janeiro or the Hotel Santa Teresa M Gallery. We're talking infinity pools, chic and modern design, upscale dining options, and a renowned spa. It's going to be very glamorous and relaxing with a rooftop bar that overlooks the ocean. It's going to be really nice. Then in Rio, you will explore the Santa Teresa neighborhood, which attracts artists, musicians, and intellectuals. You'll probably be shown around by that soft boy I talked to you about. It has narrow, winding cobblestone streets that are lined with beautifully preserved colonial houses, and the atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming.
Okay.
You'll also check out the Museum of Tomorrow.
Okay.
It is...
Sounds familiar.
It's got crazy architecture. It was designed by a Spanish neo-futurist architect, Santiago Calatrava, built next to the waterfront. And it is dedicated, it's an applied science museum, which explores the challenges humanity will be forced to tackle in the coming decades. So neo-futurist vibes and also some ecology and world sustainable city stuff. It looks very cool. I'm not selling it, but it looks incredible. Then you'll have dinner at a local restaurant with traditional Brazilian cuisine, which means a shit ton of meat. You're going to be eating a lot of meat on your trip.
So much meat.
There's so much meat. And there will also be beer, considering that Brazil is the third largest beer market in the world, which I didn't know. So popular beer brands you might encounter are Skol, Brahma, and Antarctica. Wow. That's a word I know.
I think I've had Skol.
Yeah, Skol. I feel like I've seen it around. Yeah.
Cool. Then you'll go on a day trip to Ilha Grande, known for its beautiful beaches, and you'll spend the day swimming and relaxing. Then for your second week, I'm going to send you guys to Bahia, to El Salvador, which is the capital of Bahia. It's just a 2-hour flight, so it's no biggie. There are tons of colorful houses here. This was also the first official capital of Brazil and one of the oldest cities in the Americas. You'll have a hotel in the historic Pelourinho district. And I'm also going to send you there in February. So you can catch the Festival de La Manja, which is a festival that honors the goddess of the sea with offerings, music, and rituals at the beach.
Oh, okay.
I thought that would be dreamy and magical as hell.
Yeah.
You'll also see some churches, which are just fun to look at. You'll do more beaches. You can try local beers and enjoy a sunset by the sea. You can go to the Mercado Modelo for local crafts and souvenirs. So we love a craft market. And then you might see a live music show with samba or axe music. Nailed it. Then you'll go back to Rio and check out the botanical garden on your last day. And then this is crazy, but like your friend is kind of like, I'm tired. I'm going to turn in early. And the soft boy Brazilian kind of comes up and is like, hey, Adrian, I know you're leaving. Can I take you on a nice date? And he takes you on a very respectful, dreamy last day on your final day in Brazil. And then you fly away.
Oh, wonderful. I love a good date.
Is the soft boy a bit machine?
He is not a bit machine.
Good. No bits.
He's funny and smart and a little nerdy. Like he has a good sense of humor, but he can read the room. You know.
Yeah.
He can have a serious conversation.
His jokes are in the flow.
His jokes are in flow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Let me think here.
Yeah. You can talk it out. You know.
So you can weigh it.
Yeah.
I have never thought about going to Brazil. I don't know why.
I haven't either because I'm scared.
Yeah.
But I looked it up, and I guess Rio de Janeiro, I looked up, is it safe to travel there? It gets the highest marks for medical care and the lowest marks for theft.
Okay.
Which I was shocked by.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I know it's like beautiful. Scotland I've been to. I have been wanting to go to the Highlands. I think my biggest like hang up is the hike.
The hike, yeah.
I think after like the first night, I'd be like, that was great. And then I'd be like, I gotta do it again tomorrow.
The scenery changes every day.
It does. But my little baby lungs, can they handle that? It's interesting because, I do want to go back to Scotland. And then I also was looking to do a scuba diving trip in Belize recently that I had to bail on, but I'm going to try and go next year. So I know Belize is not near Brazil. I don't think.
They both begin with B.
Hot,
they could
and
be,
they
but they're
have
hot.
beaches.
They have beaches.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, beer and scotch, that's my jam. The food. But I've been wanting to sit by a beach for a while. Oh, but the cows.
The cows. Do you want to sit on a beach with cows? Where else can you sit on a beach with cows?
Oh, I forgot that you will go to a place that has sea turtles, though.
Ooh, I do love sea turtles.
We should do cats, cows, dogs, monkeys,
turtles.
For sure. I'm gonna go with Brazil.
Keep thinking.
Only because I know for a fact, like, I will go back to Scotland. I will go back multiple times.
Yeah, where Brazil feels more aspirational, kind of.
It's more of a dream.
It's more of like a dream trip, or more of I'll go there probably once, and I probably won't go again. And versus Scotland, like, I could see if I met like a good Scotsman,
you could live there.
I could live
there.
You're
gonna end up living there. Probably. I know.
No, I know. If we could only meet a good Scotsman, Scotswoman.
Yeah.
I tried when I was there. I tried to meet.
To
live there.
Yeah, it's just such a.
It's a magical place.
Yeah. And Brazil is like definitely like more of like a dream.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm happy to go and like have this experience, and then
you'd be out of your comfort zone. I know. I kind of threw in the soft boy tour guide to also sort of be like,
ease
because I would be overwhelmed to go there and just navigate it by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I speak a little French, which has a little bit of Portuguese crossover, so I'm sure I could like finagle it, but it would be.
But if it's your dream trip, you don't want to be working that hard.
Yeah. No, you want somebody who can just help you. Help you through.
Just be like, we go here.
Yes, I'm like, perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. But when I ate meat, I think when I graduated college, my roommate took us to a Brazilian restaurant where you turn over the you like have green side up. Oh. Like you get Fogo de chao.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, what? Is it gimmicky?
Oh, I don't. I've never been. I know it's a chain.
I fucking loved it. And yeah, so I was like, man, me eating Rachel going to Brazil would have lost her goddamn mind.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's. I do when I'm here try to eat significantly less meat, but
if you're on vacation,
it's sometimes I think I've watched people have like the biggest barriers to travel. Sometimes, even though it's gotten significantly better, it's just the meat.
Yeah. No, I mean, as a vegetarian, I've definitely struggled in places. I've been to countries that,
every meal.
Yeah, every meal is meat.
Yeah.
And, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ate the meat and just dealt with the consequences.
Oh, no. Yeah. But we should all eat less meat.
Yeah, agreed.
To no meat.
On record.
I'm trying.
But in Brazil on your dream trip, you'll eat a shit ton of meat.
I know, yeah.
It's, gloves off. Let's go.
Yeah, gloves off.
So we should say real quick, we do not have the funding to actually send you on this trip. And any time we do get the funding in the future, we will send you on this trip.
I appreciate it. You got to take care of the catering.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand.
Yeah.
You get it.
I get it.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I don't feel like that was a strong victory for me.
Yeah.
It really felt like Adrian was like,
I know. I feel like if I had, I don't know, just organized a driving tour of that stretch,
you could have taken it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also, or I also could have pitched like other kind of like Scotland-esque destinations, but there's not much that really compares to Scotland. Ireland in some ways, but Scotland really is its own, I don't know,
magical place.
I
think it really was the hike that killed you.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think mine was a little more relaxation kind of based.
And you went magical.
I did have to go magical with the soft boy, boy. But it also served a functional role of just being like, I want her to feel safe and because one of the things that I don't know, I feel like I love about travel is those encounters with people, and it can and does happen.
And if we're just like talking like tours and not talking about the magical stuff that comes up on trips,
is it really even a dream trip?
No, it's not.
On that note,
please send us an email at, oh man, I even looked it up yesterday, at Agents of Travel Show. Please send us an email at agentsoftravelshow@gmail.com if you have questions. We may do a mailbag episode sometime. Like us, review us, give us 5 stars everywhere, even if it's not a podcast, even if on Yelp. I don't know. Put us on Yelp and give us 5 stars. Share it. Tell your friends. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best way to spread a podcast.
And we're not the only podcast that says that.
We're not. I'm just copying what other podcasts say. I don't even know what these words mean. I'm just saying words that I hear on every podcast. So,
wow, it's like talking to Chat GPT. All right.
Bye.
Bye.